Craig, it's nice to see your face. Your face makes me happy. The last time I saw your face, it was playing a piano at the Comedy Store a few months ago to close out what it was a magical night for me because I know it's such a small world, that world of comedians, and it was just talent after talent after talent on a stage. It was like 7 or 8 comedians, all of them making a good living, funny people. And then you closed out the show, and it wasn't just stand-up comedy, but you were doing music as well. So it's nice to see you again. We'll talk about your show in a second. But I don't know what you get the most joy out of doing professionally, but it looked like singing and laughter was at the top of the list when you closed that show out.
That would definitely be the most joy. That's the funnest thing I do is get up on that stage and get the people interacting with me.
Why is it more fun than acting? Why is it more fun than The Office, the TV show that you have on Peacock, killing it, The Masked Dancer? Why is it more fun?
Instant gratification is because it's something that I wrote and thought I wonder, could this happen, and then it happens. So it's something that tingles inside my spine.
Who are the comedians you most admire?
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby. There's a long list. Stephen Wright. I had Martin Mull in there. Steve Martin. I'm all over the place with it, man.
That's all old?
But most would be Richard Pryor. He's at the top.
But those are all old school stand-ups. I'm surprised.
He's old school.
I know he's old school, but he's working with contemporaries. Look, Craig, you must be fascinated by the business of comedy, right? It's a hard way to make a living.
Pretty much. Yeah. But nowadays you got the Nate Bargatze's and the, Steve. I can't think of Steve's last name. Don't kill me, Steve. But yeah, it's a bunch of them out there now that's just leading the charge. And I have Corey Holcomb, from Chicago, Godfrey, all these guys, that I looked up to coming up. Those are the couple of examples.
What is it that you get the most gratification on from television?
You mean which show, or what do you mean?
No, just like in terms of creating something that's not just sit around and wait and cash a check or make money, but you're fulfilled by what it is that you're making because it allows yourself to sort of push through some creative limits.
You know what's interesting about that is like the projects that come across, even it's like this Cup Noodles campaign. It's stuff that's like catered, and like you see people are writing to have fun and writing to, intelligence. So I've been getting fed creatively, but killing it has been a big creative force, especially working with those guys, Dan and Luke from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So it's been a lot of like when I'm approaching something, it seems to be very specific to being funny and being something a cut above.
You mentioned Cup Noodles and the paper cup that you're here promoting.
Paper cup, baby.
Yes, you're telling me that there's something creative around this, that this is not, you believe in this artistically. This is not about you just running around grabbing money for selling noodles. You believe in what you're making creatively.
Did you see the promo I put out?
I have not seen it.
Okay, yeah. So it's like you got to check out some of the stuff, and yeah, man, it's fun. It's they definitely took some time in the writing. It's not it's not killing. It's not a series, but it's got to get you, and it's got to get a lot of people right away. But it definitely was having fun, and I got to improvise some stuff too.
But what happened to the O in Cup-O Noodles? There used to be an O with an apostrophe. Where did it go?
Yeah, the O is gone. I got the story, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot. But it was there. It got me through college with that O, and now it's gone. I did definitely ask about it, and I definitely forgot what happened.
All right, so
you asked what happened to the O?
He asked. He did the research. He
forgot Steve's last name. I'm concerned.
Well, this is a man. This is a man who's lived life. He's lived big. There are things that are going to get forgotten or trampled in the past.
For sure.
In the past, but when you say it got you through college. Tell me the backstory of who you were in college and how much Cup-O noodles you were eating in college.
I had quite a bit of Cup-O noodles in college. I was, you know, a young man at Illinois State, working on his music degree, and then trying to play basketball. I tried out for the team, but looking back, I never should have even, you know, went to the gym.
Were you the funny man on the team? Were you the guy that the other athletes liked?
I didn't make it to, but I was the funny guy. Yeah, I was all about, you know, making people laugh on the court.
No, I'm talking about during tryouts. You said you tried
Oh,
out.
no. It was tryouts was rough, man. They were not playing. I was just tired.
Okay, fair enough.
I was just tired and wondering, how am I so bad at basketball? This is not good.
And so you decided right then, I need some other career like comedy. I'm this bad at sports. I need to do something else.
No, I was looking, you know, I came up in music, so I thought I was going to be like a R&B singer or something, but then comedy kind of chose me. It took over.
So how does this work? Did you have the sultry tone of an R&B singer? Like I heard some of this. You're certainly capable of it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just like I said, comedy just took over, and the silliness. Once I realized that you know, people could get paid to do comedy, it was kind of a wrap.
Well, how did you realize that? Because it's not the easiest way to make a living.
I was in college, and you know, people would come to me and say, "Craig, I was trying to tell them what you were saying the other day." Like essentially, they were trying to repeat my bits, but I didn't. They weren't bits at the time. I was just being Craig, being silly. And I could not stop. And my father even was like, "Hey, you know, people get paid to do this stuff." But what he didn't realize, I was like, "What?" So he was trying to, you know, dissuade me. Next thing you know, I'm looking into it about a book on comedy, and now I'm just I remember I drove to see Richard Jeni, rest in peace. He was doing a talk at a Chicago Comedy Club. So I left college. I drove the 2 hours home to just check that out and drove back, you know. So it was the first thing I took serious was comedy, and you know, I haven't looked back. I've been loving it ever since.
Were the early days broke?
Yes, very very broke.
What?
But thanks to cup noodles,
Yes.
I was able to eat, baby. I used to microwave it back then. You're not supposed to do that with the old packages, but now you can, and it takes 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow.
You can cook it very, very quickly. Look at that sign, Billy. What's that sign behind him? We have what I believe to be the nation's foremost authority on The Masked Singer. The day after the Super Bowl a few years ago on ESPN, Billy came and started the show with a Masked Singer update. Yeah. Billy, surely you have
bad idea.
You have questions about the room the man's sitting in, no?
Well, I assume you have a Masked Singer poster behind you there, Craig. I'm assuming this is because you're somewhere where it's produced, or you're maybe part of the Masked Dancer still, or maybe you want to sing us a song.
Your first answer is correct. It's I'm over here at a Fox studio. I just did an interview, and then they were kind enough to give me a room to do some more interviews, some Zoom interviews in here.
But Billy was headed down a path, and I agree. Like, I would love to hear Craig Robinson sing his favorite song.
Well, you performed on The Masked Singer, right? Not as a contestant, but you were like a guest performer.
Yeah, but
I sang "I Will Survive" like one day coming out. Yeah. It was so. It was like a mask. Like they had this mask. I was supposed to guess who I am. But yeah, I came out and did "I Will Survive."
I don't believe that the Zoom is going to pick up how much range this man's voice has, Stugotz, because I don't know whether, I mean, you felt like you were going to be a professional singer, correct? Like, how does one get dissuaded from that?
Well, like I said, I was in college, so, you know, I wasn't for sure, but I did, but I was like, you know, heading down that path. But again, the comedy swooped in and was like, this is it, and you can add singing to that if you want. So that's what it was, man.
Dan, Craig, I did some research. Apparently, when it was introduced, it was Cup of Noodles, and then in 1993, they changed the name to Cup Noodles. But in 2021, to celebrate the 50th anniversary, they started making Cup O Noodles again. Now it's back to Cup Noodles.
Wait a minute. So, okay, you say boom, but that means the Cup O Noodles was a couple of years ago, but now we're back to Cup Noodles?
Anniversary, though.
Yeah, anniversary edition. Yeah.
It's because of the anniversary.
But now you can microwave it, Dan, 2:15.
2 minutes. He said 2:12. He said 2:12.
15, and yes, it's a paper cup now. You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank
we do
you,
appreciate
Craig.
Yeah,
it.
why didn't you
Thank
say what's
you,
up at the show the other night, man?
Well, because you were busy being very famous, and I don't know what that whole scene is like for you guys when a bunch of famous comedians get together backstage. It seemed like, I mean, it was really I don't know whether or not, because it's such a small world and it's your world, it's weird to you to have Santino playing as the third act among 8 comedians, all of whom are professional comedians. But I don't know if it's an honor for you to close that show, but those were very talented people you were playing after.
Yeah, we get some shows out here that are straight fire, and sounds like you caught one of them. But there's even some comics you never heard of that's out here that's killing the game, man. So yeah, it's always an honor to go to be chosen to go last, and then hold my own, so to speak.
Do you have a very passionate sports opinion of any sort that I can aggregate for content because you are insane with anger that the Bears are thinking of trading Justin Fields?
My pickleball team has no, I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. You don't care.
I got no soundbite for you.
You are about music, comedy, and noodles is what you're about. You've got
You better believe it. And paper.
Which paper are you talking about? The one that holds the noodles, or the paper you get paid to advertise the noodles?
Let's go with both of them. But right now, that nickel paper, baby.
Quiche.
It's nice seeing you, Craig. Thank you for being on the show, sir.
Thanks for having me. Good to see y'all, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Craig.